Start. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 12, Chapter 7, Text 21. Virameta yada chittam hitva vritti trayam swayam yogena vatadatmanam vedehaya nivartate. Either automatically or because of one's regulated spiritual practice, one's mind may stop functioning on the material platform of waking consciousness, sleep, and deep sleep. Then one understands the Supreme Soul and withdraws from material endeavor. Purport as stated in the Srimad Bhagavatam 3.25.33, Jarayati asu ya kosham nigirinam analo yatha. Bhakti, devotional service, dissolves the subtle body of the living entity without separate endeavor, just as fire in the stomach digests all that we eat. The subtle material body is inclined to exploit nature through sex, greed, false pride, and madness. Loving service to the Lord, however, dissolves the stubborn false ego and lifts one to pure, blissful consciousness, Krishna consciousness, the sublime perfection of existence. What a wonderful verse to begin with on Ram Navami Day, because Lord Ram can very, very merciful on his appearance day and can give us this benediction. So let us pray to him for that. So he's saying either automatically, that is kripa siddhi. For some people, just like that, it may happen, but we can't bank on that. Or because of one's regulated spiritual practice, more likely because of that, one's mind may stop functioning on the material platform of waking consciousness, sleep, and deep sleep. That's why the more we spiritually progress, we'll see that we are not dreaming at all. Material dreams stop coming. Otherwise, when, earlier, always every day there'll be some dreams. But once we start taking to spiritual life, then our mind is more peaceful in the wakeful situation also. And one's mind may stop functioning on the material platform of waking consciousness, not too disturbed thinking of this and that, more peaceful. Sleep also, no dreams, and deep sleep also. Then one understands the Supreme Soul and withdraws from material endeavor. Because once we know the Paramatma, that he is only giving everything. Everything is coming from Paramatma only. Krishna, Prabhupada said, don't think that you're getting whatever you're getting is because of your endeavor. It's because of Krishna, because he sanctions it. Everything is coming from him. Without his sanction, nothing will happen. And we don't see that. We are only seeing the endeavor, what we are doing. And we think we only achieved it, but it's because of Krishna. And so when we understand that Krishna is the cause of all causes, then a devotee always uh, material endeavor. He does endeavors, but that is with Krishna's sanction. When Krishna is giving instructions, or like for example, Arjuna fought the war, it's not material. That's not a material endeavor, even though the activity may be, oh, he's fighting a war, that is a material activity. That's only superficially. But it's become a spiritual activity because of Krishna being there and Arjuna being surrendered to him. And to get that, what happens? Bhakti, devotional service, dissolves the subtle body of the living entity without separate endeavor. So that is what we're trying to do, bhakti, by chanting Hare Krishna mantra. That is also bhakti. That is bhakti. That is devotional service. And we concentrate more on the bhakti part. And then it dissolves the subtle body, the mind of the living entity without separate endeavor. That is the, immediate effect. We do bhakti by chanting Hare Krishna mantra, and it dissolves our materialistic mind. Just as fire in the stomach digests all that we eat. It is an amazing thing, isn't it? We eat so much food and how everything gets digested because of that fire. And similarly, bhakti can completely wipe out or dissolve our minds, materialistic desires and motivations. The subtle material body is inclined to exploit nature through sex, greed, false pride, and madness. Loving service to the Lord, however, dissolves the stubborn false ego. False ego is so stubborn, right? We are so attached to enjoying this material world. People are crazy. They're ready to kill people for that sake. So much desire to enjoy. But by doing loving service to the Lord, removes that stubborn false ego and lifts one to pure, blissful Krishna consciousness, the sublime perfection of existence. Naturally, when we are aware that Krishna is just here with me, I just need to communicate with him. He's already aware of everything. Whenever, but we approach him, we surrender to him, and that's it. If when Krishna is always with us, then how can we be afraid? How can we be anxious about anything? Whatever Krishna, we always consult him for everything. So that is the greatness of bhakti. That is real power. That you're sitting with the Supreme Lord. Then what in this world can disturb you? Who can harm you? Such a wonderful gift we have got, Krishna consciousness. And today we really seek the blessings of Lord Ram, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Ram also. So we are worshipping Lord Ramachandra every day. He showed in a Shadbhuj form. I am Krishna, I am Ram, everything inside him. I mean, he is non-different. He also showed himself as Ramachandra to Murari Gupta, and he told him, "You are your Hanumanji, and your eternal servant of me." So it is just the mood is different. Rama's mood more only for service attitude and I mean servitorship, as well as little bit of friendship. Friendship in a very what do you call, a little very respectful, and not just go and put your hand on his shoulder, like with Krishna. Can't do all that, but very respectful. His mood itself is like that, right, Rama? So we can pray to him that our because he came, Ramchandra came to show how we need to exist in this material world and do our activities or our relationships in this material world, how they should be, so that we make spiritual progress. That is his main thing. And throughout in all his ideal behavior that he exhibited, the fundamental thing which he showed was the mood of service. That is bhakti. How can we bring bhakti in all our material activities? Simply by doing everything in a mood of service for the pleasure of the Lord. The Lord, if see, suppose Guru Maharaj in front of him, no, all devotees are very well behaved. They will not shout at anyone. They'll be very well mannered. They'll do all their services very nicely because Guru Maharaj is watching. So, in the same way, suppose we are become aware, Paramatma is there always watching me, then how careful we will be in doing also material work. We won't tell lies, we'll be not dishonest, we'll do our job, what we're supposed to do. And in this way, and in all our relationships, we will have service attitude. And that is the main thing. Service attitude to the Paramatma is very important. That will, then we will never forget Krishna. Why we forget Krishna is only lack of service attitude. And that's what Ramachandra came to show. How you must serve your parents and your brothers, everyone, your siblings, and even Guru, and for the sake of the South. He did, even he ruled the country in such a deep seva bhav that for their sake, he even left his wife, but of course, that was just superficially. Um, there is no separation between them spiritually. So, like that. So, So let us meditate on Ram Navami day on Lord Ramachandra's beautiful qualities of serving, because he came to show us how we should be in this material world. So what a wonderful inspiration just in the heart. We have a mood of service. Then automatically our behavior will become very ideal, very satisfying to the Lord, and the mind stops functioning on the material platform, and one understands the Supreme Soul. Once one understands the Supreme Soul, he withdraws from material endeavor. Too much of all this partying, going out and mixing with so, social life, I mean, having a social life. Devotees, once they start chanting and everything, they're very happy. I'll just go to the temple, be with the devotees, do sevas, preaching. Our whole life changes, right? Materialistic endeavors are gone now. We don't enjoy it. And so then that's it. When then one understands the Supreme Soul and withdraws from material endeavor, which is all just illusory, temporary, and cannot give pleasure. Once we have seen reality, we will not take pleasure in cheap things. एवं लक्षणलक्ष्याणि पुराणानि पुराविद मुनयो अष्टादश प्राहुः क्षुल्लकानि महान्ति च. Sages, expert in ancient histories, have declared that the Puranas, according to their various characteristics, can be divided into 18 major Puranas and 18 secondary Puranas. So according to their characteristics, it's divided Brahmam, Padmam, Vaishnavam cha, Shaivam, Laingam, Sagarudam, Naradiyam, Bhagavatam, Agneyam, Skandasamgnitam, Bhavishyam, Brahma Vaivartam, Markandeyam, Savamanam, Varaham, Matsyam, Kaurmam cha, Brahmandhakyam, Itistrisat Shat. The 18 major Puranas are Brahma, Brahmanda, no, Brahma Purana, Padma Purana, Vishnu Purana, Shiva Purana, Linga Purana, Garuda Purana, Narada Purana, Bhagavata Purana, that is Bhagavatam, Agni Purana, Skanda Purana, Bhavishya Purana, Brahma Vaivarta Purana, Markandeya Purana, Vamana Purana, Varaha Purana, Matsya Purana, Kurma Purana, and Brahmanda Puranas. Srila Jiva Goswami has quoted from the Varaha Purana, Shiva Purana, and Matsya Purana in confirmation of the above two verses. I have thoroughly described to you, O Brahmana, the expansion of the branches of the Vedas by the great sage Vyasadeva, his disciples, and the disciples of his disciples. One who listens to this narration will increase in spiritual strength. Thus end the purports of the humble servants of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, to the 12th canto, 7th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled the Puranic Literatures. The next chapter is about Markandeya's prayers to Naranarayana Rishi. This chapter describes how Markandeya Rishi performed austerities, defeated by his potency Cupid and all his associates, and offered prayers to Lord Sri Hari in his forms of Nara and Narayana. Sri Shaunaka was confused about the extraordinarily long lifespan of Sri Markandeya, who had taken birth in Shaunaka's own dynasty, yet who had moved about alone in the ocean of devastation millions of years previously, and seen a wonderful young child lying upon a banyan leaf. It seemed to Shaunaka that Markandeya had lived through 2 days of Brahma, and he asked Sri Suta Goswami to explain this. Suta Goswami replied that the sage Markandeya, after receiving the purificatory ritual of Brahminical initiation from his father, had fixed himself in the vow of lifelong celibacy. He then worshipped the Supreme Lord Hari for 6 lifetimes of Manu. Um, in the 7th Manvantara, Lord Indra sent Kamadeva, Cupid, and his associates to interrupt the sage's austerities, but Markandeya defeated them by the potency generated from his penance. Then, to show mercy to Markandeya, Lord Sri Hari appeared before him in the form of Nara and Narayana. Sri Markandeya prostrated himself in obeisance and then worshipped the lords by offering them comfortable seats, water for washing their feet, and other respectful presentations. He then prayed, O Almighty Lord, you bring to life the vital air of all creatures, and you also protect the 3 worlds, vanquish distress, and award liberation. You never allow those who have taken shelter of you to be defeated by any kind of misery. Attaining your lotus feet is the only auspicious goal for the conditioned souls, and service to you fulfills all their desires. Your pastimes, enacted in the mode of pure goodness, can award everyone salvation from material life. Therefore, those who are intelligent worship your personal form of pure goodness, named Sri Narayana, along with Nara, who represents your unalloyed devotee. This is amazing, right? Nara Narayana, it's always fascinated me how the devotee with the Lord, just like his internal energy, always Radha, Krishna, Sita, Ram, like that, devotee and Krishna, the living entity, bewildered by illusion, can directly understand you if he receives the knowledge presented in the Vedas and promulgated by you, the spiritual master of the entire universe. Even great thinkers like Brahma are simply bewildered when they try to understand your identity by struggling on the path of Sankhya Yoga. You yourself manifest the proponents of Sankhya and other philosophies, and thus your true personal identity remains hidden beneath the designative covering of the Jiva soul. I offer my homage to you, the Mahapurusha. So that was the prayers of Markandeya to Narnarayana Rishi. Shri Shaunaka Uvacha Suta Jiva Chiram Sadhu Vadano Vadatam Vara Tamasi Apare Brahmatam Nrinam Tvam Paradarshana. Shri Shaunaka said, O Sutta, may you live a long life. O saintly one, best of speakers, please continue speaking to us. Indeed, only you can show men the path of the ignorance in which they are wandering. According to Srila Jiva Goswami, the sages saw that Suta Goswami was about to end his narration of Srimad Bhagavatam, and thus they urged him to first tell the story of Markandeya Rishi. Yeah, so the hmm. आहुश्चिरयाश् चिरायुषं ऋषिं मृकण्डूतनयं जना य कल्पान्ते हि उर्वरितो येन ग्रस्तम् इदं जगत् स वा अस्मत्कुलोत्पन्न कल्पेऽस्मिन् भार्गव ऋषभ नैवादुनापि भूतानां सम्प्लव कोऽपि जायते एक एवार्णवे भ्राम्यन् ददर्श पुरुषं किल वटपत्रपुटे तोकं शयानं त्व एकमद्भुतम् एष न संशयो भूयान् सूतकौतूहलं यत तं नश्चिन्दी महायोगिन् पुराणेष्व अपि सम्मता. Authorities say that Markandeya Rishi, the son of Mrikandu, was an exceptionally long-lived sage who was the only survivor at the end of Brahma's day, when the entire universe was merged in the flood of annihilation. But this time, Markandeya Rishi, the foremost descendant of Bhrigu, took birth in my own family during the current day of Brahma, and we have not yet seen any total annihilation in this day of Brahma. Also, it is well known that Markandeya, while wandering helplessly in the great ocean of annihilation, saw in those fearful waters a wonderful personality, an infant boy lying alone within a fold of a banyan leaf. O Sutha, I am most bewildered and curious about this great sage, Markandeya Rishi. O great yogi, you're universally accepted as the authority on all the Puranas. Therefore, kindly dispel my confusion. Purport: Lord Brahma's day, consisting of his 12 hours, lasts 4,320,000,000 years. Right? That is 432,000 into, that's what, for his, into 1 day means into 1,000. So, 4 yugas into 1,000. So that is 4,320,000,000 years. And his night is of the same duration. Apparently, Markandeya lived throughout one such day and night, and in the following day of Brahma, continued living as the same Markandeya. It seems that when an annihilation occurred during Brahma's night, the sage wandered throughout the fearful waters of destruction and saw within those waters an extraordinary personality lying on a banyan leaf. All of these mysteries concerning Markandeya will be clarified by Suta Goswami at the request of the great sages. Suta Vacha Prashnas. So Parikshit Maharaj's questions are over now. It's taken over by Shaunaka Rishi and all the sages. So we get to know a little more. This 12th canto has got some more pages because of them. प्रश्नस्त्वया महर्षेयं कृतो भ्रमापः नारायणकथा यत्र गीता कलिमलापः. Suta Goswami said, O great sage Shaunaka, your very question will help remove everyone's illusion, for it leads to the topics of Lord Narayana, which cleans away the contamination of this Kali age. It's a long, this, I'll just read the translation. After being purified by his father's performance of the prescribed rituals leading to Markandeya's Brahminical initiation, Markandeya studied the Vedic hymns and strictly observed the regulative principles. He became advanced in austerity and Vedic knowledge and remained a lifelong celibate, appearing most peaceful with his matted hair and his clothing made of bark. He furthered his spiritual progress by carrying the mendicant's water pot, staff, sacred thread, brahmachari belt, black deer skin, lotus seed prayer beads. So prayer beads are also in lotus seed, and bundles of kusha grass. These are all the things he was carrying. Mendicant's water pot, staff, sacred thread, brahmachari belt, black deer skin, lotus seed prayer beads, and bundles of kusha grass. At the sacred junctures of the day, he regularly worshipped the Supreme Personality of Godhead in 5 forms: the sacrificial fire, the sun, his spiritual master, the Brahmanas, and the super soul within his heart. Morning and evening, he would go out begging, and upon returning, he would present all the food he had collected to his spiritual master. Only when his spiritual master invited him would he silently take his one meal of the day. Otherwise, he would fast. Thus devoted to austerity and Vedic study, Markandeya Rishi worshipped the supreme master of the senses, the personality of Godhead, for countless millions of years. And in this way, he conquered unconquerable death. Just see his lifestyle. In today's world, people faint when hearing about it. He did countless millions of years, he did this. First of all, very long life, and he studied the Vedic hymns, observed regulative principles, very advanced in austerity and Vedic knowledge, and lifelong celibate. So he was a mendicant, and he was worshipping, under this thing of his spiritual master.
Mataji, Hare Krishna. Mataji, this Markandeya and the Markandeya, who have 16 years of life, who holds, Yamaraja comes to take, is the same Markandeya, Mataji?
Yeah, same.
Okay.
That's what he was supposed to die in 11 years, and then now his life is extended unlimitedly. Brahma Bhrigur Bhavo Daksho Brahmaputrascha ye pare Nrideva Pitrabhutani Tenasan Ativismita. Lord Brahma, Bhriguni, Lord Shiva, Prajapati Daksha, the great sons of Brahma, and many others among the human beings, demigods, forefathers, and ghostly spirits, all were astonished by the achievement of Markandeya Rishi. Ittam brihad vratadharas tapah swadhyaya samyamai dadhyav adokshajam yogi dvashta kleshantaratmana. In this way, the devotional mystic Markandeya maintained rigid celibacy through penance, study of the Vedas, and self-discipline. With his mind thus free from all disturbances, he turned it inward and meditated on the Supreme Personality of Godhead who lies beyond the material senses. So, because his mind was completely controlled, so he could turn it inward and meditate on the supersoul, lies beyond the material senses. Asyaivam yunjataschittam mahayogena yogina vyatiyaya mahan kalo manvantara shad atmakam. While the mystic sage thus concentrated his mind by powerful yoga practice, the tremendous period of 6 lifetimes of Manu passed by. Now imagine meditating for so long. What a great sage he is. For 6 manvantaras, that is 71 into 6, 426, how many? 71 yugas, sorry. 71 yuga cycles is a lifespan of a Manu. And this Markandeya meditated for 6 manvantaras. 71 into 71 yuga cycles into 6 means, 426 yuga cycles. That is almost half the age of Brahma. For he sat and meditated. Etat purandaro gyatva saptamesmin kilantare tapo vishankito brahman arabhe tad vigatanam. O Brahmana, during the 7th reign of Manu, the current age, Lord Indra came to know of Markandeya's austerities. That is, this is not the 7th for us. It is 27th, right? This Vaivasvata Manu. But this is whenever he spoke it. No, no, it is this only. Current age, 7th reign, 7th Manu. Okay. O Brahmana, during the 7th reign of Manu, the current age, Lord Indra came to know of Markandeya's austerities and became fearful of his growing mystic potency. Thus he tried to impede the sage's penance. I don't know why Indra should become disturbed, because he has gone beyond wanting to be just an Indradev. And to become an Indra, you don't have to be so austere. A fraction of his penances would have been enough to become an Indra if he really wanted that. But he felt threatened. Gandharvapsara kamam vasantamalayanilo munaye preshayan asa rajastoka madotata. To ruin the sage's spiritual practice, Lord Indra sent Cupid, beautiful celestial singers, dancing girls, the season of spring, and the sandalwood scented breeze from the Malaya hills, along with greed and intoxication personified. So much Maya was sent there to entice him. Devai tad ashramam jagmur himadri parshva uttare pushpa badra nadi yatra chitrakya cha shila vibho. O most powerful Shaunaka, they went to Markandeya's hermitage on the northern side of the Himalaya mountains, where the Pushpabhadra river passes by the famous peak Chitra. So he was in Pushpabhadra river, where it passes by the famous peak Chitra of the Himalayan mountains. Tad ashrama padam punyam punyadhrumalatanchitam punyadvijakula kirnam punyamala jalashayam matta brahmara sangeetam matta kokila kujitam matta barhinata topam matta dvija kulakulam vayuhu pravishta adaya hima nirjara shikaran sumano bihi parishvakto Vavav Uttama Bhayan Smaram. Groves of pious trees decorated the holy ashrama of Markandeya Rishi, and many saintly Brahmanas lived there, enjoying the abundant, pure, sacred ponds. The ashrama resounded with the buzzing of intoxicated bees and the cooing of excited cuckoos, while jubilant peacocks danced about. Indeed, many families of maddened birds crowded that hermitage. The springtime breeze sent by Lord Indra entered there, carrying cooling drops of spray from nearby waterfalls. Fragrant from the embrace of forest flowers, that breeze entered the hermitage and began evoking the lusty spirit of Cupid. So this thing, it had a very pious atmosphere, all pious trees, pious scents, sandalwood breeze from the Malaya hills and all, very, very sattvic, and all beautiful birds and animals, and very pure and sacred ponds. And into this place, Indra sent it. Spring, Vasanta Ritu is meant very beautiful, and that is the time when, people want to enjoy. So he sent the springtime because a lot of flowers also bloom. And so he sent that to in the ashrama and began evoking the lusty spirit of Cupid, because there is certain beautiful spots which is not holy or anything, which is very scenic and beautiful, and people normally go there for sense enjoyment. They want to be, uh, that only evokes more sense gratification. So he wanted to create, imagine, turn this ashram, which was like a holy place, into one like a hill station meant for enjoyment. Udya Chandra Nisha Vaktra Pravala Stabakalibi Gopadrumalata Jalais Tatrasit Kusumakara. Springtime then appeared in Markandeya's ashrama. Indeed, the evening sky, glowing with the light of the rising moon, became the very face of spring. Uh, and the sprouts and fresh blossoms virtually covered the multitude of trees and creepers. So, yeah, the evening sky with the light of the rising moon. So, all that was very, very enchanting. Cupid, the master of many heavenly women, then came there holding his bow and arrows. He was followed by groups of Gandharvas playing musical instruments and singing. These servants of Indra found the sage sitting in meditation, having just offered his prescribed oblations into the sacrificial fire. His eyes closed in trance. He seemed invincible, like fire personified. I don't know, Indra sometimes miscalculates whom to disturb and whom not to. He even tried to disturb Lord Shiva, imagine. And that's why this Cupid got burnt. And here, Markandeya Rishi, you should have understood, he is like, very super great Rishi who's been meditating for 6 manvantaras and all. Better not to disturb him. Nantrus Nanritustasya purata Striyoto Gayaka Jagu Bridanga Veena Panavair Vadyam Chakrur Manoramam. The women danced before the sage, and the celestial singers sang to the charming accompaniment of drums, cymbals, and veenas. Um, this is I- so imagine if when we are doing Harinam Sankirtan on the street. Actually, in the Western countries, it happens. All see, brahmacharis, sannyasis, they go on Harinam. And then some women, not so nicely dressed, they come and dance. Everything is there before them. So unless they are strong, then they can fall victim. सन्ददेस्त्रं स्वधनुषि कामः पञ्चमुखं तदा मधुर्मनोरजस्तोक इन्द्रभृत्या व्यकम्पयन्. While the son of passion, greed personified, Spring, and the other servants of Indra all tried to agitate Markandeya's mind, Cupid drew his 5-headed arrow and fixed it upon his bow. The Apsara Punjikastali made a show of playing with a number of toy balls. Her waist seemed weighed down by a heavy breast, and the wreath of flowers in her hair became disheveled. As she ran about after the balls, glancing here and there, the belt of her thin garment loosened, and suddenly the wind blew her clothes away. Cupid, thinking he had conquered the sage, then shot his arrow. But all these attempts to seduce Markandeya proved futile, just like the useless endeavors of an atheist. Right? Atheists try to tell people, I mean, in India also it's going on all over the world. There is always leftists versus the rightists. They're always trying to influence people, telling them not to believe in God. And it's useless. In India, so many things have come, so many different types of philosophers, God men, everything. But still, people have their faith in God. Maybe they don't know the proper things that may be, but still, that basic faith is there. Useless endeavors of an atheist. The ittam apakurvanto munestad tejasa mune dahyamana nivratu prabodayahim ivarbaka. O learned Shaunaka, while Cupid and his followers tried to harm the sage, they felt themselves being burned alive by his potency. Thus they stopped their mischief. Just like children who have aroused a sleeping snake, they knew what is going to happen if Markandeya Rishi wakes up comes out of his meditation and sees their nonsense. So, but anyway, O Brahmana, the followers of Lord Indra had impudently attacked the saintly Markandeya. Poor thing, he was just sitting there and quietly meditating on the Lord, and they were trying to disturb. Yet he did not succumb to any influence of false ego. For great souls, such tolerance is not at all surprising. So we complain, oh, people are telling me not to chant, they are stopping me, they're trying to put some, you know, something, they try to entice me or tempt me, or take me somewhere else and not do devotional service, so many things. But see here, he withstood, he did not succumb to any influence of false ego. So in all ages, this is there. This is okay in our Manvantara only, but in a age where all this, I mean, great sages were worshipped, and such an exalted sage. He also had to, the Maya attacked him also. So Maya will keep testing everyone. The more you advance, the more severe will be the test. Markandeya Rishi is so advanced that Indra personally sent all his servants to entice him. Drishtva nistejasam kamam sa ganam bhagavan swarat Shrutvanubhavam Brahmarishir Vishmayam Samagat Param. The mighty King Indra was most astonished when he heard of the mystic prowess of the exalted sage Markandeya and saw how Cupid and his associates and had become powerless in his presence. Same thing happened to Haridas Thakur also. Yeah, when Maya Devi herself came to test, he was not at all disturbed. The other person, that prostitute who tried to entice him, he made her into a devotee just as great as himself. She also chanted 192 rounds every day, non-stop. So she became an exalted Vaishnavi. So that was also, in recent times you've seen, and Markandeya Rishi, he's been meditating for so long. And so naturally, nobody could disturb him, his mind, desiring to bestow his mercy upon the saintly Markandeya, who had perfectly fixed his mind in self realization through penance, Vedic study, and observance of regulative principles. The Supreme Personality of Godhead personally appeared before the sage in the forms of Nara and Narayana. So that is what first comes the test. Then you pass the test, then you get a big award, the supreme award. Lord himself comes, he's very happy. You fail the test, then finished. You have to again sit down, repeat the class, do some more meditation, repent why I failed the test. I should have studied properly. I should have meditated. Not, I should have fixed my mind. Why did I allow my mind to influence me? Mind will always tell some nonsense, but we have to completely not listen to the mind and only to the words of our guru, his instructions. And, we know what is correct thing to do of following the four regs and chanting. Never will I listen to the mind. Then if we pass the test, then we get the supreme award of Krishna. So then here is the description. Tau Shukla Krishnau Navakanjalochanau Chaturbhujau Raurava Valkalambarau Pavitrapani Upavitakam Trivrit Kamandalum Dandum Rijum Cha Vainavam Padmakshamalam Uta Jantumarjanam Vedam Cha Sakshat Tapa Eva Rupinau Tapatadid Varna Pishangarochisa Rosisha Pramshu Dadano Vibudarsha Bharchitu Tau. One of them was a whitish complexion, the other blackish, and they both had forearms. See, Nara also has forearms. Their eyes resembled the petals of blooming lotuses, and they wore garments of black deerskin and bark, along with a three-stranded sacred thread in their hands, which were most purifying. They carried the mendicant's water pot, straight bamboo staff, and lotus seed prayer beads, as well as the all purifying Vedas in the form of bundles of darba grass. Symbolic form of bundles of darba grass, not written down Vedas, but it was just a symbol of all the Vedas. Their bearing was tall, and their yellow effulgence the color of radiant lightning, appearing as austerity personified. They were being worshipped by the foremost demigods. So here we see something about Nara and Narayana Rishi, Nara Narayana. So we'll see more what he does, how he receives them, and how he glorifies them. So it is that Nara and Narayana. Nara also has got four. Of course, it's nothing um, surprising, because in the Vishnu Loka, or in the Vaikuntha, there are many devotees who have four arms and who look just like Vishnu. So Nara and Narayana. So this Nara is one who's got four arms like Narayana himself, and he is doing penance along with the Lord. So then, okay, so Nara Narayana Rishi are still there in the sage in Badrikashram. So yeah, we'll stop now and we'll pray for the Lord's total mercy on us, so that we can control our minds and concentrate on Krishna always. So we've got a very easy process, very difficult to control through all these kind of methods, sitting and meditating and austerity, and for so long. Just see how fortunate we are. We don't need to do so much tapasya at all. Nothing. We just need to concentrate on the holy name, only on the sound vibration. No other rules and regulations. They all must be thinking, these Kali Yuga people, how fortunate they are. They are most fallen. No need to do any austerity, nothing. Simply chant Hare Krishna, and what we achieved after so many millions of years, they are getting it very easily in just a few decades or even less. They get all perfection. You can get all perfection in one life. And not only that, you can get love for Krishna and go to the highest, topmost planet. That is why, um, that is why they say, who said, which is the best of yugas? And he said, Kali Yuga is the best of yugas. Because just by a little devotion, just by chanting Hare Krishna mantra, you can get all perfection. That same Lord who they are seeing after so much of tapasya, Markandeya Rishi, poor thing, he had to sit and do so much meditation for so long. And then he could see. And now, just by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna has come as his own avatar to be with us and to help us perform bhakti through chanting, so that our mind, which is so stubborn, can be conquered. And then one day we can see Krishna. Prabhupada felt that any of his disciples could see, so he would ask, did you see Krishna? And they would put down their, no, Prabhupada, I didn't see. And then they were there in the Rath Yatra. They had all come and they were dancing. So hopefully, by Prabhupada's mercy, one day, if we can see the Lord, then our life is successful. Of course, he said also, it's mentioned that once, I mean, mentioned means devotees mentioned, that once it seems when Prabhupada in Mayapur, there's Chaitanya Mahaprabhu outside, he was dancing or something, and Prabhupada was just looking. Then he asked Guru Maharaj, Jeptaka, you saw. And Guru Maharaj said, no, I didn't see anything. Then he said, you saw, you're just telling lies. He didn't want to tell before his Guru that he also saw the Lord. So some people are very fortunate. They and the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes are happening even now. And some people who are very fortunate may get to see Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. After all, he is the Yuga avatar, the first person we should be able to see him, and he is the most merciful. So, anyway, let us pray. At least let us first worship the holy name as non different from Krishna, the avatar who has come to be with us. And then one day we'll be able to see Krishna. But before that, even the fact, I mean, our complete faith, that itself will give so much happiness. Faith in the Lord and his presence in the heart. We have to be aware that he is there. It's not just an imagination, or he's so far away, I don't know what he wants, even I don't know, he is so far away. No, he is very near. Also, he's very far and he's also very near. That's what he says in the Bhagavad Gita, at 13th chapter. I'm very far and I'm also yet very near also, because he is spread everywhere through his potency, is omnipotent. Okay, we'll stop now. Hare Krishna. Any questions, comments? Okay. We pray for His Holiness Jayaptak Swami is all geared up to go to Mayapur. I hope that happens without any hitch for his Vyas Puja. And so let us chant, and also protection for all his servants. May they do very nice service and take care of him very nicely. So let us chant for Guru Maharaj first. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare.
And
Mataji, Hare Krishna, Mataji. Please accept my humble
yes, please accept my
Happy